Hello dear ones, and welcome to another temperance video. I welcome you into a new format that was created to guide you throughout the cosmic seasons and cycles. So let me start to explain the importance of this perspective first and foremost. Temperance, for those of you that don't know, means to live in moderation, in balance, and in harmony with all things. This state of being can only be achieved if we reconnect to the most natural, organic, and therefore sacred parts of what is. And one of these aspects is the fact that we can only achieve temperance through aligning with the cosmos, through aligning with the cosmic time. So, astrology is the language of the cosmos, the attempt to systematize, I think that's a word, the relationship between celestial objects, Earth, and the Self. Astrological cycles are the original organic timekeepers. They align human life with the rhythms of the cosmos, Earth, and Spirit. When we observe nature and the cycles of the celestial bodies, we are reminded that life is non-linear. It is cyclical. It's expanding and contracting, it's birthing and releasing. Temperance arises naturally when we live in harmony with these cycles. Usually the moon teaches emotional balance, the sun teaches flow, the season guide us when we must rest, when we must plant, when we must harvest, when we must integrate, right? And the celestial movements, or what the inorganic system calls planets, reveals when to act, when to reflect, when to expand, when to stop. When we honor these rhythms, we stop forcing ourselves against the current. We live in temperance with nature, with God, and ourselves. The Gregorian calendar, on the other hand, the calendar our society lives by, is mechanical. It's solar-based system that has little to no resonance to natural cycles. It does not reflect the living rhythms of the cosmos. It costs us a lot. It brings us out of our lunar wisdom. It flattens time into this linear progress that cultivates this illusion of endless forward productivity, and it places emphasis on dates and deadlines, not on energetic flow or cosmic timing. So this leaves us feeling disconnected, confused, and depressed. It makes us work when we should be resting. It makes us push when the cosmos, the stars are asking us to just rest, right? Just pause. It makes us celebrate events and beginnings when the cosmos is whispering for quietude and closure. In this way, astrology provides a holistic clock, guiding our spiritual growth back into the sacred rhythm. And temperance comes from the harmony and alignment with the cycles that are already in us and that hold our material existence. Okay, so let's look at Virgo season. Let's look at its themes. So Virgo season starts around 22nd, 23rd of August and goes into 21st, 22nd of September. And it's all about organization, it's about grounding, it's about refinement, It brings a shift into practicality and detail. Um, it it is an energy that helps cut through the noise, analyze details, and create more functional systems in our lives. It is also linked with routines, nutrition, and caring for the body. So it's a great time to reset habits or release um, addictions, for instance. Virgo is associated also with service to others, with being helpful, with being supportive, and using our skills in service to the collective. It is a moment where rather than starting huge new things, this season favors fine tuning, refinement, making life more efficient in the details. And as an earth sign, Virgo encourages us to slow down, to reconnect with nature, and to be more practical. So let's look at the astrology, not all of it, of course, because there's a lot happening, but at the highlights for this Virgo season. So, as I said, yeah, it starts on the 22nd. And when we talk about a season, it's when the sun, here we're talking about the cycles of the sun um, enters Virgo constellation. So we have immediately when we enter um, a new moon in Virgo, and I'm gonna jump here to this. I'm gonna talk about a little bit about um, maybe then I have to go back, but it's okay. Okay, I want to talk about this very interesting and unique thing that's gonna happen in this Virgo season, which is two new moons in the same sign, so Virgo sign. So it's what we can call the Alpha and Omega of Virgo. It's very unique. The first new moon, which is on the 23rd of August, uh, it happens at the very beginning of Virgo, so at 0 degrees Virgo. And the last, well, the second new moon in Virgo happens at 29th degree, and it's also a solar eclipse. And this is rare because it bookends the season with two thresholds of initiation in the same sign. So the first new moon is a pure initiation, and new moons, of course, they all talk about setting intention for the new moon cycle. Uh, and this new moon at 0 degrees is like yeah, definitely a call to reset, to plant intentions, and to open to Virgo's sacred medicine, which is, I've already stressed, right? The themes of clarity, refinement, healing, and service. And the second new moon, which happens on the 29th degree of Virgo, is a completion and a culmination. Just not just another beginning, but it will act as like a karmic reset because at the final degree, Virgo's lessons reach the maturity, um, asks us to embody the wisdom we've integrated in the cycle. And definitely a time and a season of deep healing and alignment. And we're going to talk more about that throughout this video. But Virgo rules health. It's the ritual, it's the body, it's the service. And these two new moons here emphasize that we need to heal old habits and establish new ones once and for all. You know, it's just like a very, very good time to do this in a very practical, integrated way. It's emphasizing the need to embody higher order into daily aspects of life and treating the body as a temple of light. Okay. There's also at the last new moon, so the second new moon, this completion, it's also amplified by the solar eclipse that will intensify the power of this new moon. And this will not only be a possible personal reset, but it can also be powerful collective reset, because here there's this patterns of unity consciousness, of service, of the health of the collective, and order will be rewritten on a soul and planetary level. And this is like a double opportunity for us to choose alignment. So, spiritually, these two new moons in Virgo represent a second chance. It's like if the first doesn't take root, the cosmos will provide another portal. Um, this time, a deeper, more karmic, of course, and irreversible. Sorry, I couldn't say this word. And it shows us how generous God is, offering us infinite, multiple openings for rebirth, for growth and ascension. So, these two new moons, the Alpha and Omega of Virgo, represent on a soul level a refinement of our purpose, inviting us to strip away what's unnecessary so our light can shine cleanly. And this theme has been very, very emphasized this year, especially, and will continue to be. Uh, Always this infinite opportunity that God is giving us to refine ourselves, to align ourselves, right? With our soul, with divine will instead of our own free will. And one day we can talk a little bit about this distinction of wills. But it's also represents on a soul level these two new moons, the sacred initiation into service, because we're throughout this season we will be releasing the old ideas that serving others is related to sacrifice. um Really, we are being called to create a reality where service is born from love, from boundaries, from respect. And it is definitely a moment where this energy of Virgo teaches us that God is found in the details, in the body, in the day to day little mundane stuff, not just in transcendent visions. It is a reunion of spirit and matter. It is a grounding integration of the spiritual into the physical reality. And this is a season of double rebirth. The self is presented with the opportunity to reset twice, first gently and then powerfully, like being anointed and then consecrated. So these two Virgo new moons remind us that we are given more than one chance to align, to heal, to embody divine love in practical ways. God is so patient, so generous, and persistent in guiding us back into order and divine energy. Okay, so let me see. We go back a little because I want to talk about this, just this idea of when Sun on the 24th of August, um, we have a Sun square Uranus, and this is definitely a bit of a disruptive energy. Uh, it definitely will emphasize the need to rethink routines and beliefs. And usually, this energy brings disruption into our lives. So be aware of that. Be very grounded throughout life, but some moments are a bit more urgent to be connected to where we are, Gaia, Mother Earth. But this disruption comes with the purpose of aligning us deeper into divine flow and will. So it's a disruption that invites aligned growth. Okay, so whatever happens, or if nothing happens, okay, but whatever disruption, surprising shift happens, remember that it is probably for your highest good. So having a different perspective there. Okay. Then we have on the 25th to the 25th through the 27th of August, this Venus in Leo. So this creates various dynamic aspects. It will trine with Saturn in Aries, which will bring um, the need of more maturity and long-term clarity into relationships. Um, it will sextile Uranus in Gemini, which will bring a lot of this energy of freedom and emotional innovation. So I do sense can be a moment where creative expression needs a bit of structure. Um, Venus will also try Neptune in Aries, which will be a very imaginative and very spiritual energy. And it will oppose Pluto in Aquarius, which brings also to the table this need for transformation, and especially in power dynamics. So it is a very potent, very bold energy throughout these days. So just be aware of that. Uh, in terms of relationships, there can be huge shifts throughout this time. Um, and what we have next? We have, okay, on the 28th, we will have Uranus sextiling Neptune, which is a good time for connecting to our dreams, connecting to our imagination, also our intuitive vision for the future. It's very nice energy also. And then in early September, we will have Mercury's homecoming, and it will bring a lot of clarity in communication. We were just out of Mercury retrograde in the beginning of August, so some themes can be more precise during the beginning. Some themes that popped up in the beginning of August can come again in the beginning of September to be cleared off. And yeah, because Mercury is Virgo's ruling planet. So when it enters Virgo and later throughout September, I don't know the exact date because if I would do, it would be infinite video. And I'm not worried with the length, but still. But this it goes Cassini, so it enters in exact alignment with the sun in Virgo, so it will heighten mental clarity, this idea that we need to be precise with the words we use on our communication, and this will clear a lot of debris that can have been caused during Mercury retrograde in the beginning of August. So then we have also, let me move here, early September, three planets that go retrograde. So Saturn retrogrades back into Pisces. I think it's around the 7th, but I'm not sure the dates. I stopped doing astro guides, but I will probably get back to them, but not now. Um, so you have to check for yourself. And this retrograde Saturn into Pisces again is asking us to reevaluate our commitments and boundaries. Like, what are we doing? Is this really what we want to do? Is this really um, aligned with our soul? how do we feel with this, and also uh, how much we give and how much we receive. Where are our boundaries, right? And then we have also Uranus and Neptune that are retrograding in the beginning of the month of September, um, which it's basically a consolidation phase. It's very reflective, very good to analyze um, where we want to go, where we want to anchor ourselves in, and how our reality is going to be created moving forward. And then, as I already talked about, the new moon with the solar eclipse in Virgo um, brings definitely a very potent reset. Um, if we want to use it that way, and we already talked about it. So, okay, we are done with the astrology. Let's start our Virgo season temperance reading. Um, we will see the specific message that want to come through and the guidance source has for us to elevate our frequencies and live in a more conscious and loving way. Okay, so we start with the point zero, locus zero, the infinity axis, where all cycles begin and dissolve. And from this place, there is no separation, only the eternal pulse of Source flowing through our being. And in Virgo season of refinement, we will experience a specific energy, the energy of the seraph, the seraphim, six winged beings very, very close to God. They are the angelic frequency of pure consciousness, the crown awakening. And the song of the seraph activates the light body, reminding ourselves that they are they have crystalline memory, that they're designed to carry and transmit divine intelligence. So it's a time to simplify, to clear, to reorder our lives as a sacred act of alignment. Each small act of order we create will echo in the infinite, restoring balance between heaven and earth. God loves us through every detail in our imperfections and in our precision. God loves us not for what we achieve, but for the light that we already are. So, as we walk this season, we must breathe in Virgo's grounding earth and exhale all distortions. You can use the frequency of 963 Hertz to attune your crown, calling you back to oneness. And I will link an audio below that you can use for this purpose. You can just sleep through it or meditate with it. Just be exposed to this frequency. And then feel your light body expand, radiant, whole, infinite. Allow divine love to be both structure and flow, both clarity and embrace. And that's why this reading, ultimately, the video is called Let Me Love You. Because the message here in the infinity axis that connects all the points we're going to go through in this reading tells us to remember that we are never separate from God. Okay? God does not withhold. Love is pouring into us now through every moment, through every frequency, through every breath. So we must step forward in our infinite radiance. So we reach point one, where survival is sacred. It is the hum of our heartbeat in rhythm with the soil, the reminder that life begins in the body, in the breath, in the ground beneath our feet. This season of Virgo calls us to return to the energy of earth, steady, fertile, holding. In her embrace, we remember that our ancestors survived so we could rise. Every scar in their story, every seed they planted, every prayer whispered into the wind lives in our blood. Their resilience is our foundation. This season is to honor the cycles of nature. The falling leaf is not a failure, it is a fulfillment. Decay is a transformation, right? The forest floor is drinking what was to nourish what will be. And in the tuning of the season, we see that survival, it's not merely clinging to life. It's also flowing with the endless renewal of creation. So we are sustained, we are held. Even in the endings, the love of God feeds us. Even in decay, God prepares the soil for us to blossom. So this season, stand barefoot on the land, feel the pulse of survival as gratitude. Honor your ancestors by living fully, by knowing that the beauty exists not only in bloom, but also in the falling, in the withering, in the returning to the soil. We are part of this great cycle, body to earth, earth to spirit, spirit back to life. Survival is not the absence of death, it is the dance between death and life. Okay, so let's move forward to the position 2, locus 2, which talks about relationships. It's the field of relationships, the space where we meet not only others, but reflections of ourselves carried on the breath of air. The connection becomes the teacher, showing us the infinite ways love and truth can move between souls. Virgo season brings clarity into these bonds. It will ask us, what patterns are we ready to shift? What conversations do we want to breathe new life into? And just as air cannot be grasped, right? We cannot grab it. So too, we must learn how to hold relationships in a light way, lightly, with openness, not controlling. This is a season of this paradigm shift in relationships. We are invited to release the old mental frameworks about love, about family, right? About friendship, about community, and to see the connection as an ever expanding thing instead of working on attachment. We will work on connection more and more. And in this openness, we will be able to see higher perspectives, right? We will be able to see relationships not as cages, but as spaces where we are not enclosured, but we are invited to grow and evolve, right? We will be able to shift our perspective on differences, seeing more like the differences between each other as opportunities instead of something that we must argue against or fight against. Because true love is the freedom to grow together, right? So we are asked to expand, to speak, to listen, to inspire, to let our words carry light and let our silence carry wisdom. Virgo's grounded care anchors this airy expansion, ensuring that this paradigm shift is not only a lofty idea, but something that can be really rooted on our daily life. Inspiration flows through us. As we share our visions, we spark awakening in others. As we widen our perspective, we invite others to breathe more deeply. of life's vastness, right? And relationship will become channels for collective evolution. So let's move forward into position 3, the self. Here's very interesting energy that came through for position 3. Here we return to the core of the self, right? Like standing tall like Mount Shasta, the ancient and alive, rooted in earth yet crowned in the cosmos. We remember here that our origins are both cosmic and earthly, and that our being is a bridge between the two. So, this season of Virgo invites us to tend to the details of our daily life while never forgetting the sacred vastness that flows through us. Just as Mount Shasta rises from stone and soil, yet carries the mystery of unseen realms within, so too does our self hold both matter and spirit, right? The downloads are already flowing, the earth is speaking, and the stars are echoing the same information. And we must trust the message that arrive in silence, in the dreams, in the sudden knowing. They are not outside of us, they are the voice of our origin. So, our self in this season is not small, it's vast. Every intuitive flash, every sacred encounter, every moment of awe is a reminder that we are divine. Virgo's grounding helps us integrate these downloads so they do not overwhelm, but instead become practical steps, embodied wisdom and presence. So we are the mountain. We are rooted, we are rising, we are receiving. We are the origin. We are eternal. We are whole. We are remembering. We are the self, the sacred place where God meets earth. Consciousness. At this position, consciousness opens like a vast night sky, right? And we connect to the star seer energy. The star seer is the one who looks beyond the details of the moment and sees the hidden patterns, the golden threads that weave all experiences into meaning. Virgo season, with this love of detail, will put our focus down into the small, the practical, the precise. Yet, the star seer energy warns us to not get lost in the fragments, to lift up our gaze to the constellations above. Because what may seem scattered, like stars are scattered in the sky, is in truth a map of our soul's unfolding. And this is the season to listen deeply to intuition, to those subtle pulses of knowing that bypass logic. It gives us the clarity to discern what is noise and what is truth. So every nudge, every synchronicity, every inner whisper is part of the holistic journey designed for our growth. We must trust the bigger picture. Even when our human eyes see disorder, well, God sees harmony. Even when the path feels uncertain, the stars hold the pattern already written within our spirit. This season will teach us the balance between precision and expansion, detail and vastness, the step we take and the horizon we see ahead of us. So the true consciousness is not choosing one or the other. It is knowing that we are both the stargazer and the star. We are not walking aimlessly. I know sometimes it looks like it, but we are being guided by constellations that only our hearts can read. So trust the journey, for it is holy, and it's the point. The point is the journey, it's not the destination, actually. Great. So we move forward to position 5, which talks about purpose. Purpose is revealed as something that we are instead of something we must chase. And here we have the energy of the luminous essence that glows from within, that reminds us that our greatest work is simply to be a vessel of love, first for ourselves and then for others in the world. This season of Virgo will invite us to notice the small, quiet places where love begins. The way we tend to our body, the words we speak to ourselves, the gentleness we allow into our daily rituals. Self love is the foundation. When we fill ourselves with kindness, our light naturally extends outward, shining even into the darkest corners of the world. Our heart is the compass of our purpose, right? You can ask yourself, how can I live in truth, compassion, and joy right now? Virgo's clarity supports this, showing us how love can flow into even the most ordinary details of life. So, despite the darkness, don't be afraid. You were born to bring light. So do not shrink from love. You are made of love. You are love. Don't doubt your worth. You are the very expression of divine purpose. Your light is not meant to be hidden. It does not need perfection or permission. Your light just shines because you exist. And in this season, our purpose is to just live from our heart, to let love guide you, guide your decisions, your relationships, your creations, and even the way you see yourself. In shining without fear, we fulfill our truest purpose, which is to be love embodied on earth. And then we have position 6. The path lifts upward to the divine chakra of the crown chakra. This is the place of intuition, the luminous gate, the direct communing with God. Virgo season, so precise and discerning, will invite you to go beyond even the sharpest clarity of mind and to surrender into the silence where thought dissolves and only God remains. Here we talk about devotion as becoming a bridge, devotion as love, a steady turning of our hearts towards the presence that has always been with us. Right? We are love. And Virgo's medicine is refinement. And at this level, the refinement is of perception itself. So, learning to distinguish between the noise of thought and the whisper of spirit of God. We are called to transcend the mind, actually. We are not our thoughts. We are the light behind them. And in this season, intuition becomes the highest form of intelligence. If you really want to flow, to succeed, use your intuition, not logic. Use your direct knowing. What do you know? What do you feel within you that you know? And when you place your trust in God, When you bow your mind to the wisdom of the soul, you begin to live in union consciousness. Connection to God is something we are remembering. We don't need to earn it. We don't need to do anything else than remembering that we are connected to God. You know, every prayer, every moment of stillness, every act of devotion polishes the mirror of our awareness until the reflection is clear. You and God are one breath, one pulse, one light. This is the purpose of position of this point six of intuition. It's to live guided by the radiance of intuition, to trust the unseen path, to rest in the embrace of divine love that never ever leaves you because you are it. So, throughout this season, as you tend to the details, remember also to lift your gaze to the infinite. As you refine your outer life, let devotion refine the inner life. And as you walk with precision, also walk with surrender. For our crown chakra always knows the way home. And then we reach position 7.7, locus 7, sorry, where our path becomes one of service. The sacred offering of our gifts, our presence, and our care to the world. And this is literally the position of Virgo season. And again, we are reminded that service is not about depletion or sacrifice, it is about alignment. True service can only arise when we honor our own wholeness first, and then we allow that wholeness to overflow for the benefit of all. And here we have the energy of healing. So I would say, even throughout this season, service is service to self. Okay. What we see, the message here is that we are being surrounded by healing energy, where we need to mend our wounds. We need to remember what it looks like to be in balance, to restore our flow with a connection with God, to return to the harmony between body, soul, and source. Through service, we hold a mirror of this remembrance to others, not by taking their burdens, but by standing in our own soul sovereignty. And this season will be all about these details and this energetic awareness, that we become aware. For example, where does our energy flow easily? Where does it leak? Where does it feel depleted or entangled in things that are not ours? And how can we refine our boundaries so our service is rooted in strength and not depletion and exhaustion, right? Because when we serve from sovereignty, we do not lose ourselves. Instead, we align with the highest good and we become a channel through which God can work freely. And Virgo's gift is discernment. It will help us see where healing is needed and how to offer it with precision, integrity, and love. We are not here to save others. We are here to embody health, truth, and light so fully that will make others remember their own health, truth, and light. Service then becomes a radiance of optimal health. Clear mind, clear body, pure body, alignment with spirit. And in this way, our very presence is the medicine, and our life itself becomes a healing offering. So, in this season, let your service be balanced. Let it be aligned with your soul. Let it be sovereign. Heal by living in harmony. And by doing so, inspire others to live in harmony too. And trust that when you stand in the light of your own truth, you are already serving the world. Let's move forward to the position 8.8, the point of divinity, and the last one we have here for this reading for this Virgo season. The journey enters the realm of divinity and the place where our human path and our divine essence meet. And here we have the infinite light that reminds us that even through the shadows, our soul is carried by grace. So, Virgo season, with all its call to refinement and healing and detail and analysis, offers us the chance to deepen our spiritual practice. It's all about devotion, all about returning again and again to what connects us to Source, whether it is prayer, meditation, breath work, sacred ritual, whatever it means to you. In practice, we remember we are never separate. We are only learning to see more clearly the light that has always been within us. We are invited to heal and repair our old wounds, patterns, and fractures can and probably will surface this season, not as a punishment, but as an opportunity to renew. Like God is reminding us to not fear the cracks in our life because they are the openings through which infinite light can pour. And through challenge, a positive path will emerge, one that is lighter, clearer, more aligned with our soul's truth. And Virgo energy ensures that this healing is not vague or abstract, but something embodied and practical. Every choice we make towards kindness, towards balance and integrity becomes a step on this path. The infinite light of God teaches us that divinity is not distant. It is alive in our body, in our breath, in our willingness to grow, to become more conscious. And each challenge is an initiation. Each moment of healing is a revelation. We are walking as divinity, discovering our divinity in each humble step. So this season, let your practice keep you steady. Let healing mend what was fractured, and let the infinite light of God guide you, turning every challenge into a path of renewal and opportunity. And yeah, let's get to our conclusion and final blessing, because this season is our chance to refine, to remember, and realign. Remember that we are both detail and vastness. We are both cosmos and earth, both body and light. We must trust this journey, trust our intuition, trust that you already are living in your purpose in every breath. But start moving with precision, with awareness, with devotion. Balance the practical and the sacred. Trust and follow and act upon your intuition because it is the voice of your soul. It is opening channels of guidance beyond the mind and connecting you to the divine. So step into conscious service. Honor your energetic boundaries while nurturing yourself and others. Align your actions with your highest good. Foster healing, vitality, and the well being of all. Through awareness and discernment, service becomes a sacred practice rather than an obligation. The infinite light of God illuminates our path. It reminds us that spiritual practice, healing, create gateways to renewal, to ascension, basically. And even in difficult times, devotion, clarity, and alignment with God, with God's guidance, will reveal opportunities for growth and positive transformation that otherwise you won't get access to. Virgo season is your invitation to align mind, body, and spirit with clarity, service, and the infinite light of the divine. Okay, let's take out a final blessing from the Namaste Oracle deck. Okay, it says, a blessing through emotional upheaval. An emotional storm is forming and things may seem chaotic for a while. But as the storm subsides, blessing is revealed. Respect all points of view, for we each view the world a little differently. Things are being shaken up for a good reason, and all involved will benefit. Okay, dear ones, I hope this is helpful to you. Feel free to come back to the video and check it out throughout Virgo season. Please follow, like, and subscribe. Share the video if you can with the ones you feel might resonate with it. And I hope you can find your temperance and that we can see each other in the next video. I love you all and I see you soon.